ArsenalFanTV, Chris, convincing victory tonight. Good all-round performance. I mean, it was quite a close game at 0-0. You know, I mean, they were coming at us without. They did that, and they had a great chance that they should really have scored from. But then after that Shaka goal, it was all over.
You summed up perfectly what I was about to say. I might as well go home, mate. You don't need me. No, it was an easy win in the end. Class told. We scored some great. I mean, the third and fourth goal, absolutely top class. But to be honest, it was very reminiscent of Sheffield Wednesday for the first half an hour away from home last season in the League Cup. In that they did have some good opportunities. They missed a sitter, and it was like the crowd was well up for it. And you know, it was on the cards that they were going to score. And then we got a goal out of nowhere. Shaka, and that really killed the crowd. It killed their team, and it was quite a lucky goal. It got massive deflections, so it was fortunate. But to me, it showed the value of actually taking a shot outside the area, and it's so refreshing that firstly we're getting penalties this season and we're taking shots outside the box. But at the end of the day, we need to score more goals, and there's so much value to be had for, you know, taking a shot. Because anything can happen, like the deflection tonight, or it might hit the post and come out for a rebound, and so that's good. But yeah,
that is something that I've never understood it over the years. Why? I think last season there was some stat where we hadn't even scored a goal, or we only scored 1 or 2 goals from outside the box. And you always think to yourself, we get into these great positions, why don't we shoot?
I know. Well, the majority of the goals that we do score are normally absolutely brilliant, but that's because we pass. That's how we're trained. But you know, it looks like we're changing that slightly for the better this season. But obviously, Perez is the main story tonight because you know this is a real chance. Although we shouldn't get too carried away because it was Nottingham Forest, you know, second team, but still, I mean, it's great for. He was a different player after he scored the penalty, and you know, that goal he scored showed a great individual goal. Like, it's great strength and speed, and he gives us something different to Giroud. And you know, in my eyes, he's the Spanish Takuma Asano, you know, possibly. But yeah, I mean, the League Cup generally, I think, you know, it's quite a relaxing night tonight. But I would really like to win it, and I think we possibly can make some waves in this competition this season. Because
who would you like in the next round?
It doesn't matter.
Nice easy one, or
look, there's no point trying to predict. We'll take whoever we get, but we've got a strong squad. We're going to be playing international players in this competition, not the kids, because we've got such a strong in-depth squad now. And you know, we've got a good record in this competition without winning it under Arsene Wenger. And you know, a little stat for you that, you know, this might not mean too much, but it is a good omen. The 2 times that we played Nottingham Forest in this competition before, in '87 and '93, we went on to win the competition in both those years. So, you know, hopefully we can do it again this season. But I don't know, on that note, it's really nice to come back here, Nottingham Forest. This is a proper football club, and it's sad for me that this is like 17 years ago that, you know, the last time they were in the Premiership and that we played here. And it really shows you like what can happen, you know, to a football club, and that we are lucky as Arsenal fans that we've never been in this position. I mean, we've been in existence for 130 years and never even been close to getting relegated. We've been lucky to have some really good people run our club, you know, like Ken Fryer and the Hillwoods, David Dean, Danny Fisman, and it's like, you know, we've never even hardly even finished in the bottom half. And you know, one little pet hate of mine is when fans sing "Who Are You?" every time we score, like regardless of the opposition. We were even doing it against PSG last week. I just think it's a bit like it's a new age fan. It's like a very modern day fan thing.
Oh, shut up! What's the matter with you? I mean, who are you? I mean, what's wrong with singing that?
I'll tell you who this club are. They've won the European Cup back to back.
Yeah, I know. They're reminded of it about 10 times. That's why we said, "Who are you?" when we scored.
Respect your opposition, and also the reason that Arsenal play in red because of Nottingham Forest. They were formed before us in the mid-19th century, and when we formed as Dial Square in 1886, they lent us 11 shirts that were red. They were the first red team in England. So I'm just saying, you know, respect the opposition, and it's like all this "Who Are You" stuff.
Banter, mate. It's just
not
a laugh.
It's not. It's a shit song. We should be celebrating. It's very much a Soccer AM school of fan. It's the new age fan. After a goal is a beautiful moment, and it should be celebrating your own team, not having a go at some cheap shit song at you know, your rivals.
I think you have to go back to the golf.
I'm going to the Ryder Cup anyway, so
yeah, have to with me. You go to the Ryder Cup, you might get some decent songs there.
Yeah, all right.
No, Shaka, man. And Rennie Adelaide, he was brilliant. He just, what's the boy, 18 years old? And he was just gliding around the pitch like a seasoned pro. Shaka was, I love that guy. Do you know what I mean? And